Okay, in this video I'm going to be replacing the relay in this eTech City smart outlet. This is model number ESW15-USA. This is a 15 amp smart outlet. And the problem with this one is that the relay is sticking on the on position. And for this particular smart Wi-Fi outlet, it has a very small load on it, so it's only maybe 100 milliamps at most. So it's well within the range of the relay can handle. So let's crack this open and fix it up. So this is my second smart Wi-Fi outlet that has done this. And I also have a third that's starting to do this. So I've already done this once already. So all we got to do is get a spudger here and start cracking it open. And there's just some little clips in there. So you want to be careful when you pry one of these open, because the first time I did this, I knocked off some surface mount components on the board, and I had to crack open on the second one to see what I yanked off this thing. So when we open it up, you want to take this little nightlight part out and get that off to the side. So here is said relay, this orange thing. That's the relay we're going to be replacing. Now to get to the back side of this thing, we're going to have to unsolder it from the prongs. So there's two connections. There's the hot line and the neutral line, and then the ground is just a friction fit on the stud there. So we'll take the desoldering gun here, and we'll start working at getting this solder out. So I'll get it nice and molten, and then start hitting the trigger for the vacuum. And there's a lot of ground plane and surface tracks on here, so it's going to take quite a bit of heat to get this off. Give it a little help. Get that warmed up. Another thing I can do also is use some wick. So let me get my little clamp here and clamp this. Get some flux on it. Same thing on this side. Okay, now we'll just work on prying the board off the prongs. Another thing that can help is taking off the ground pin. Because this screw also holds the board down. Take that off. Okay, it's off the pins. I'll just take the remainder off. And now we have the board. So you can tell on the underside there's a lot of solder tracks that you got to heat up to get that them pins off. So now we got to take some more of this solder off to get the relay out. Make sure my gun is clear. And we'll probably use a little bit of both. The soldering iron and the desoldering gun. Because there's a lot of solder here and a very big trace. It takes a lot of heat to get that warmed up. Okay. Work on this one. And now there's 2 more pins on the board itself, so there's a total of 6 pins. So there's 2 here, 2 here, and then 2 here. Sometimes what you have to do is add a little solder so you can suck it out. Like that one. And this one is the only other one that's full. Okay. Give this one a little assisted heat. And now the relay should literally fall right out of this thing. Just like that. Okay, now we'll put the new relay in. So I got these from Mouser, and they're just about identical. They're the Chirac Australia 5 volts DC for the control side, and 16 amps, 250 volts AC. The part numbers are a little different, but I got these from Mouser. They're a little heavier than the ones that the E-Tech City has. So let's take a look at these on the Mouser website. At the Mouser website page for this particular relay, and it is Mouser part number 655-1-1415898-8. And here's the manufacturer number. This is a TE Connectivity /PNB. There's currently 12 left in stock because I already bought 10. And then here's all the goodies and details on said relay. It's a 16 amp relay with a 5 volt coil, non-latching, and all the technical genre, blah blah blah. So there you have it. Now we'll go back to removing this or reinserting the relay. So now we will reinstall this relay back into the board. And the holes are all nice and clean. So all we got to do is just put the relay in. The trick is to get it to stay. So we'll just prop it up on something to get at least one pin in, one pin soldered. We'll do the control side here, and it's small. Okay. Now we'll make sure the relay is flat against the board. Now we can finish soldering it up. So we'll get this one filled in. Let that cool for a second. We'll finish filling this one in. Now we'll work on these big tracks, and we want to put solder on just about all of this track, on from here to here, and then from here to about here, because we still need to leave room to put our pins back in, and then we'll put some more solder here where they skipped from the factory. So I'll put my station on boost so I get lots of heat. we'll start going to town. Okay. Do a little more. Make sure it's got plenty of solder because it's going to be carrying a lot of current. You know, up to 16 amps or, you know, whatever the circuit that you have it plugged into. You know, most common are 15 to 20 amp. So the track alone would never be able to handle that much current. So that's why they add the extra solder. We're going to go right up to that prong there. And then we're going to fill this side in since they kind of slacked off. Just like that. Now we can put it back inside the board in the housing here. So while it's cooling off a little bit, we'll clean up these pins. Make sure they're nice and clean. Okay. We'll reinstall the board. Make sure these two little nightlight wires go over this little antenna here. And then just a matter of putting it back in. The same way you took it out. Helps if you put it on the right way. And it should just slide right over them pins. Make sure they're firmly in there. Okay. Now we'll finish soldering them pins from the top side. I'll put a little flux on here. Make sure we get a good flow. We want to put lots of solder on here. Or solder, I should say. Have plenty of solder. And that is that. Now we'll put the ground and board retainer back on. Okay. And we'll put the outside case back on. So here's the case. I want to make sure that the little frosted lens goes back where it belongs, because it will fall out because there's nothing to retain it. And it can only go in one way. So we'll get the night light first started. It's got a little track in here. There's a track here and a track here that it slides right into. Get the night light started. And then you can just slide it back together. There is a little status light that you need to make sure is in its right spot. Goes into a little chamber. And it should just snap right back together. Now we'll test it. Make sure it works. So let me get some garbage out of the way here. Unplug my desoldering gun from the extension cord, and we'll plug this in. I seen the little blue flashy joining back to the network, and we'll get a nice heavy-duty load, and we'll make sure it works. So we'll turn the hairdryer here to high, and we'll smash the button. Seems to be working. So that's it. That's how to fix your eTech City smart Wi-Fi outlet. We put a brand new relay in it, so hopefully this will cure its sticking problem. And this is the eTech City model number ESW15-USA. So thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.